The objective for today is I can solve a word problem using model drawing. So just to review from yesterday, remember we have our 8 steps of model drawing, and I like to use the saying real wise workers do problems, quit complaining about it silly. So you have to read the problem, decide who is in the problem and what is in the problem, draw your unit bars of equal length, plug in the information, figure out your question mark, then set up your computation or your number sentence, answer the problem, and then write your sentence. This first problem we're going to do together, and then the next one you are going to try on your own.
Let's start by reading this first problem. Lily bought a scooter that cost $182. Rachel bought a bike that cost $55 more than Lily's scooter. How much did Rachel's bike cost? All right, for this one you're just watching, so we can check mark the R. We have read our problem. Now my next W stands for who. Think to yourself, who is my who? Did you say Lily and Rachel? Good job if you did. So I'm going to write their names down, and they are going to have separate unit bars. All right, so now we have our what. Well, you might be thinking, well, Lily has a scooter and Rachel has a bike. But what we can say, what we're comparing is the cost. So I'm going to say Lily's cost, and I know that's of her scooter. And I'm going to say Rachel's cost, and I know that's of her bike. Now our next step is to draw, and I'm going to draw my unit bars. So when I draw my unit bars, do I need to make Lily smaller because I know that she didn't spend as much money? Not yet. I need to start by making them the same size. All right, so they both have their unit bars. Now to the P. What does the P stand for? Plug in information. So I'm going to go back and read sentence by sentence to plug in all the important numbers that I need. So the first sentence says, Lily bought a scooter that cost $182. Think about which unit bar would that go in. That would go in Lily's unit bar. My next sentence says, Rachel bought a bike that cost $55 more than Lily's scooter. So how do I show that Rachel's cost $55 more? Would I put the 55 in the unit bar? No, because that doesn't show that it's extra. So to show that it's extra or more, I need to add on to her unit bar. And then this one is going to be the 55. Now, do you remember from yesterday? How do I know how much goes in this unit bar? What would it be? It would be the 182 because I know it's equal to Lily's cost. All right, we can check mark the P, and now we're to the Q for the question mark. How much did Rachel's bike cost? So I just want to know Rachel's cost, so I'm going to put my question mark down here. And now it's time to set up the computation. Think of it like a number bond that I'm missing the hole. What would our computation be? It would be 182 plus 55. Check mark the C. And now let's solve for our answer. And our ones, 2 ones plus 5 ones equals 7 ones. And our tens 8 tens plus 5 tens equals 13 tens. So I'll put my 3 tens down, but then I'll take my 100 and regroup it. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So I have my answer, it's 237, and now let's write our sentence. Go ahead and say the sentence out loud that you would write that answers this question. Hopefully you said, Rachel's bike costs $237. Check mark our S. We are done with that problem. Let's move on to our next one. For this problem, I want you to pause the video and try and solve it all on your own. If you get stuck, go ahead and play the video and watch the steps where you get stuck, and then pause it again and try and keep going. Come back and make sure you check your answer and make any changes if you made any mistakes. Okay, so you're coming back to check your answers or figure out where you're stuck. Our first step is to read the problem. Lucas is practicing flying to become a pilot. He flew for 263 hours in October. He flew for 188 hours in November. How many total hours did he fly? So our who is Lucas. And then our what would be his hours. Now let's draw the unit bar. And our next step is to plug in information. Lucas is practicing flying to become a pilot. No information there. He flew for 263 hours in October. That's important, so I'm going to put the 263, and I might label this as October. He flew for 188 hours in November. Ooh, is that part of my October? Nope. So I'm going to add on more to the unit bar. I'm going to add on the 188, and I'm going to label this as November. How many total hours did he fly? All right, I'm to my question mark. So I'm going to know the total with October and November combined. So my question mark is going to go down at the bottom. I know for my computation that I'm missing my whole, so I'm going to add my two parts. So my computation is going to be 263 plus 188. Let's solve this addition problem. 8 plus 3 is 11. Regroup my 10. 1 plus 6 plus 8 is 15. Regroup my 100. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. All right, so I did my computation. I got an answer of 451. Let's write my sentence. Lucas flew a total of 451 hours. Check mark my S, and I am done. Great job.
For your independent practice today, there are two different problems that you are going to solve using model drawing. I have all of your steps written down the side so that you can check mark them as you go so that you don't forget any of your steps. And when you finish, please turn it in on Edgenuity.